Hello and a very warm welcome to all the Cricket 60 viewers. I am your host, Dr. Nilesh Mehta, joined by an expert panel today. This is a special show. This is an IPL 2025 preview. 10 teams going at each other to hold the coveted trophy for the 18th season. IPL has become a huge juggernaut. It's no secret. $14 billion is the current valuation of the IPL. And last year, from what the numbers tell us, 600 million people watched the IPL. So you talk about the National Football League, National Basketball Association, uh, Major League Baseball, and now in the same sentence, in the same breath, you can also put in IPL along with the English Premier League, of course. So it's a big tournament watched worldwide. I just want to go over the introductions of all my guests and co-hosts, if you will. Sharvil Majmudar is an attorney from Ahmedabad. Sharvil, welcome.
Thank you, Nilesh bhai. Thank you.
Panthil Majmudar is also from Ahmedabad. He's also an attorney in the state
Thank
of
you.
Gujarat.
Thank you.
Panthil, welcome.
Thank you so
Subbu,
much.
Subbu is joining us from North Carolina. Subbu is a lifelong cricket follower, and he's going to give us his incisive comments throughout the IPL season. Subbu, thank you.
Thank you.
Professor Anand Desai, face that is well known to Cricket 360 viewers. And Professor Desai, thank you for making the slide deck that we are going to share with all of you as well. So, Professor Desai, thank you for joining us from India.
Thank you for having me, and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be. Thank you for having me.
Kishan is the new kid on the block for Cricket 360. Kishan has conducted cricket quizzes. He lives in the city of Anand in the state of Gujarat, India. Kishan, welcome to you.
Well, thank you for having me. Thanks, sir. Thank you all.
Rohan Majmudar is also an attorney from the city of Ahmedabad. Rohan, of course, well known to Cricket 360 viewers, also a very keen cricket fan, particularly KKR. And he's not wearing yellow today because there is no Australia. Otherwise, he's a closet yellow Australian fan. Rohan,
Thank you,
welcome.
doctor. Thank you, doctor.
And last but not the least, Archan Mehta from Silicon Valley, our engineer, who will be engineering a lot of thoughts. And just like we have Sidhu in the world of cricket with his Sidhuisms, Archan is well known for his Archanisms, as we call it. So, Archan, welcome also.
Good morning. Thank you.
So there are 10 teams, and what we decided to do is we are going to break it up. We'll start off with the capital of India, and I'm going to go straight to the slide deck so that we can follow it along. So, of course, this is the 18th season. It's starting on March 22nd till May 25th, and all the venues where the matches will be played are listed below. This is how the 10 teams that are going to be playing in the IPL. Just to go over quickly, these are the previous winners, and as you can see, dominated primarily by Chennai Super Kings as well as the Mumbai Indians. And 2025, of course, is the question mark. Will there be a new team? Will it be RCB? Will it be another team that will be making its mark and putting their name in that column for 2025? That is the question. And if you look at it, this is an interesting slide that Professor prepared. 9 and 3 ultimately ended up winning. And if you're 8 and 5 or 8 and 5, that did not make it. This is a difficult one to read, but we'll go straight to Delhi Capitals. Subbu, over to you.
Sure.
Subbu and Anand, let's discuss the Delhi Capitals, please.
Okay. I can refer my notes, correct?
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you see my notes also?
No, we cannot, but you can just you can say it
Okay.
while we are
So-
looking at the slide also.
Okay. First, I must thank Anand Desai. It was so helpful. So to start with Delhi Capitals, their performance last year in the 2024, I'm not going back into the history. Their best performance was in 2020, and the year this group started reviewing the IPL. Am I right? They lost to Mumbai Indians in 2020.
That's right.
So this time, after the 2024, they played 14 matches, they were 50-50, they won 7 and lost 7, and their overall ranking at the end, they didn't qualify for the playoff, they were 6th in the position. Okay? So coming back to 25, Delhi, my feeling is the management keeps changing in Delhi. Probably there are a couple of the ownership is shared by two other corporations, and this time they retained only 4 players. Again, Anand's gives you that R is the retainer. Akshar Patel, Kuldeep, Stubbs, an opener, and Mukesh Kumar. Not Mukesh Kumar,
Abhishek Porel.
Abhishek Porel from
Porel.
Kolkata. So only these 4 players were retained, and all other new players were bought in the auction. Okay, and the highest bidder is Akshar Patel for 16.5 crore, followed by KL Rahul. So when it comes to Akshar Patel, today he is named as captain. I was disappointed when I chose Delhi Capital. I was expecting Harry Brook from England to be also joining the squad. He was recruited for 6.25 crores, and he backed out for the second time in this season. Last year also he backed out. It would have been a great opportunity for him had he come. It would have helped the Delhi Capitals too. Not sure whether he would have got a captainship contender along with Rahul and Akshar Patel, because he's likely to take over from Ben Stokes in England. So when India goes to England for the Test series, they are expecting Harry Brook to lead England. So he missed a good opportunity to learn from during the IPL. Coming back to Akshar Patel and Rahul was also offered. We know that Rahul, after his LSG last year, his performance as an individual player for India has been immensely a very heavy contributor, though he has been shuffled across in so many batting positions, and he has taken over from Rishabh Pant in the Indian team. So that's a remarkable achievement for him. He has been very consistent performer. So he wants to contribute as a player to Delhi Capitals, which is a good thing. So when he come back to Akshar Patel's growth has been under Rahul Dravid. He was also in the team, but he was coming way down in the batting order, number 8, and he was a great bowler on Indian wickets. So overseas, he was not given much opportunity, but he has been a great thinker, and he's going to be a very good captain to me. Whatever in position India wanted him to perform, either during batting or bowling or in fielding, all 3 areas, he has been an exceptional all-rounder. Okay, he is becoming more of a batting all-rounder, but because he is now in the last Champions Trophy, he was promoted to number 4, and 4 or 5. What a contribution! He studied the innings. Gautam Gambhir wanted a left-hand, right-hand combination, but this man, up to the finals, every inning was his contribution. You cannot go by the number of runs he scored, but the number of the time he occupied the crease was fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, Subbu,
So that's
sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
what are the key changes that you see? I mean, bringing Akshar Patel in as the
Yeah.
captain and not making KL Rahul.
Yeah.
From a management perspective, and of course, there is no Praveen Amre, there is no Ricky Ponting. So as Anand has prepared the slides, the coaching has also changed. The captain has changed. As when you look at that change in the captaincy and that aspect of the team, as well as the management. So you got like double changes. Does that it's a new, fresh game, new, fresh faces? Does that is that a positive, negative? And the same, I'm going to ask Professor Desai as soon as you answer that question, Subbu.
See, I see major changes in the management. Fine. See, they were in the bowling coach. They brought Munaf Patel. Munaf Patel one time was a great Indian fast bowler. Okay, now retired, but he's still in the coaching, so he's going to contribute very heavily. You got KP from England. He's a great contributor. Hemang Badadi was a great all-rounder for the Indian team. Venugopal Rao, he's a director of operations, so he's going to contribute. So overall, an excellent management group too. I give it to Anand.
Yeah. So, Professor Desai, your overall take in a summary about the Capitals. Are you happy with this format if you are a Delhi Capitals fan?
Well, not completely. I mean, to be honest, I think there have been changes, some major changes, of course, for the Capitals. Captaincy, for one, has been, from Rishabh Pant. There's a shift clearly. On the support side, they have Hemang Badani, who was previously the batting coach of Sunrisers Hyderabad. He's come on as the head coach now. There's also Venugopal Rao as the director of cricket. One doesn't know what role he will play. But of course, there's Peterson, there's Munaf Patel. There's significant change on the support staff side. But the game, I've always believed that the game is always played in the middle, and it remains to be seen as to how whether Rahul actually not being made the captain, would that actually work to his advantage and he can actually go out and play freely? We all know what he can do. He holds the record for the fastest 50. It still holds as of today. And so, you never know. He might just go out and play freely. They also have Mitchell Stark that's come in. They also used the right to match card for Jake Fraser McGurk, who was this young kid on the block from Australia who just made waves with those blistering knocks right at the top. They also used the right to match for Mukesh Kumar. I think there have been. I think Abhishek Purel was a surprise performer right at the top. Gave them very quick starts along with McGurk. So on paper they have Tristan Stubbs, who played a significant role, but and they've also gotten Faf du Plessis. He lends experience, but beyond that, there is on paper. To be very honest, they don't look such a strong side, to be very honest, and it remains to be seen as to how they'll have to perform beyond themselves, the way I see it.
Anybody else want to chime in, Sharvil?
Sure.
A question for Professor. Two questions. One, do you think Harry Brooks' non-availability will affect the balance of Delhi Capitals? Second, have they named any replacement, or whom should they name as a replacement?
So, I mean, it's a very, very good question. Harry Brook, at least on paper, is an explosive player. He hasn't shown that explosion in the IPL, but you never know. I mean, he has in his young career, as the doctor said, he's been marked out as the future captain, and so I do believe that at least on paper, that he will be missed. Whether they have actually brought in a replacement, one doesn't know. I don't think they have. I'm not so sure about that. But all the major players are gone, right? I mean, in the mega auction, all the major players, at least on the batting side. So it just remains to be seen as to how among in the recent tournaments that have been held, particularly if you look at the Champions trophies, there's somebody who can come in and in his place. That is something that one would have to say, but I don't think they have named any replacement.
Yeah,
I'm not so
Kishan,
sure.
Delhi is also reminds me of one of a recent movie that I saw. It's called Runaway Jury, where people are running away from the teams, whether it is Harry Brook or KL Rahul from captaincy. But we'll see how they perform in the
even Rishabh
field
Pant.
on the field.
Yeah, it's interesting Archan mentioned this because I saw Runaway Jury just a couple of days ago. I mean, yes, you're right. You're so right there.
Kishan, you had a point about Delhi?
Yeah. So let me lay it out in the open. Delhi has been my favorite team, but painfully so. I'm a Delhiite, and it pains me to see the plight of Delhi year on year. And to me, I think on paper, I would like to slightly disagree with Professor Desai. To me, it looks a balanced team this time. Although the support staff has changed, previously we had Ricky Ponting or Ganguly, but I think the change is for the good. With the coming of new faces, there'll be newer ideas as well. And as far as the team is concerned, Professor Desai rightly said that they will have to essentially prove themselves on the field. And on the field, I feel there is a good core group of players in the team, proven players for their national sides, for their franchises whenever they have played. You have KL Rahul, you have Aksar Patel, you have Kuldeep Yadav, you have Natarajan, you have Tristan Stubbs, you have Faf du Plessis, you have Mitchell Stark. So these would, I suppose, these would be the mainstays in the team, and around them there are decent names in the form of Abhishek Porel, Jake Fraser McGurk. So I feel it's a balanced side. There are decent names in batting, bowling, and the fielding is going to be quite decent. And I'm also happy with the choice of the captain, although previously people have differed with me. I think Aksar Patel is an active enough, a proactive person on the field, and with his batting, with his bowling, as well as fielding, I think he's going to be standing out as a very, very good leader, and he'll lead by example, I feel. And
Good
I
to
think
know.
he sets a very good.
At
He
least we
Can I
sets a
just
found
very
out.
good
make one
precedent.
point?
At least we
Can I just
found out
make
one
one
thing
point?
that Kishan is a Delhi Capitals fan. We found out one thing today.
Yes. Can I just mention one thing? My mind goes back to the auction when it was held, right? Way back when the first auction. They chose they when the uncapped players at that time when they were being chosen, and there was an under 19 cricketer that was chosen called Pradeep Sangwan, and they chose that person ahead of one other cricketer who goes by the name Virat Kohli.
Yes.
So that's just trivia for us.
That's So we'll move on to our second team, and I will share the screen.
Yeah, just Nilesh,
Yeah,
by
Subbu.
one, there is a rumor that KL Rahul may skip the first two matches.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
it another personal reason, or do you have any insight, Subbu?
Birth of his
Paternity leave, I think.
I thought he was going for some carom tournament or something.
No. And another thing I found in the DC team is it's stuffed with excellent bowlers. So you need to make use of the good bowlers, you need to have some scores. So the batting compared to the bowling is little weaker. So, but you have KL and Faf from RCB, and Karuna Nair, we don't know how he will fit into this format. So if there is a scores, they have good bowling team to defend that.
Right. So
Okay,
we'll move on.
Yeah,
We'll
sure.
move on in the same geographic area of India, the north of India, and the Punjab Kings, who play at the PCA Stadium in Mohali. Now, this slide that we have tells us that Shreyas Iyer is the captain of the Punjab Kings. Head coach, of course, Ricky Ponting made a move from the Delhi Capitals over to Punjab Kings, embracing Preeti Zinta and the management and trying to bring Punjab Kings something that they've never had is the IPL trophy. Sunil Joshi is the spin bowling coach. Sunil Joshi, of course, a very good left arm spinner. Brad Hayden is the batting and wicketkeeper coach, and the rest you can see on the screen. The last time Punjab Kings made any splash was actually back in 2014 when they were runners up. Subbu appointing Ricky Ponting as the head coach with a 4-year contract. It's a 4-year contract for Ricky Ponting. And he succeeds, of course, Trevor Bayliss. So, what is Ricky going to do for Punjab Kings that Trevor Bayliss could not?
It was accepted that Shreyas Iyer and Ricky Ponting went very well when they were in Delhi Capitals. But under Ponting, he replaced Shreyas Iyer with Rishabh Pant as captain. And they did reach the finals last year. But they didn't perform very well. And in 2024, they were ranked number 9 behind Mumbai Indians, who were number 10. So this year, they retained just 2 players, Shashank Singh and the opener, Prabir Singh. He's a very good striker for power play. So a lot of expectation. They acquired Shreyas Iyer with the highest next to Rishabh Pant, 26.75 crores. And the next one, Harshabdeep Singh, Yajwendra. They got very good bowling and overall performance. But what is expected, this is the team, surprise team this year. I'm expecting it to go up to playoff. Okay. So what need to be done is a lot of expected batting from Shreyas Iyer and the other batsmen. They got star-studded bowlers. And also there many matches are going to be played in the new Chandigarh. I don't know what is that new Chandigarh wicket, and in Dharamshala. 7 matches are played there. It might be helpful to them. Okay, on the road, I'm not sure how the team is going to perform. There are a lot of continuous matches also scheduled, so that also will go in their advantage. So as a team, most of the players are in current form. Shreyas Iyer has been in great form in the last 2 years since he was dropped out from the contract. He has been doing wonderful. So a lot of team under Ponting will perform very well, according to me.
Yeah.
And what he could not achieve in DC, he's hoping to get it done from this team. Okay.
Any general thoughts from the rest of you guys about the Punjab King? Yeah, Panthil.
Yeah, so I think Ricky Ponting, who has now been recruited by Punjab Kings, I just saw that Punjab King has 3 Australian players, their overseas players, that is Glenn Maxwell, Stoinis, and English. All those 3, of course, are very formidable players for their respective country, that is Australia. However, we all know that Maxwell somehow in the IPL does not perform well. So I hope that Ricky Ponting is the turning point as far as Punjab Kings is concerned. And he can bring the best out of these Australian overseas players. Because if these overseas players play well, then I think all other teams must beware the Punjab Kings.
Yeah. Mohanish, you had a comment, Mohanish?
Yeah, I did. I think if you look at Punjab Kings overseas players, most of them are Australian. So I think Ricky Ponting wants to build an Australia B team with this Punjab King team, I guess. But my question more so was, I think Punjab side looks pretty average compared to most teams in the tournament. They look obviously they have big names. They have your Shreyas Iyer, Glenn Maxwell. I'm a big fan of Shashank Singh and Nehal Vadera. Do you think their Indian batting core, apart from Shreyas Iyer, is a tad bit inexperienced, and there'll be a lot of pressure on the Indian batting core, say on Shashank, say Prab Simran Singh, Nehal Vadera, etc.? Or do you think the foreign batting core can alleviate that pressure?
No, I think you are right, Mohanish. I think the team, to me, seems a bit on the average side. Shreyas Iyer, of course, one of the most experienced cricketers of India and paid handsomely as well for this IPL, will certainly have to make it worth for the
Yeah.
Capital fans, without a question. But in terms of how far they will go, I would say that, in my opinion, at the moment, the way things are, I don't think Punjab Kings make the playoffs. So we
Yeah,
will
I don't
move
think they
on.
make top 6.
Yeah.
I
We,
I just had one comment to make on if you look at Punjab Kings, I mean, it's interesting that people are calling it weak because there are just a bunch of T20 specialists. You have Marcus Stoinis, you have people have already mentioned Maxwell, there's Inglis. These are all short format players. There's Ashdeep Singh, who they use the right to match. In fact, they've basically they did not use. They had 4 right to match cards, but they did not use any. You just use one of them. So the idea was to completely change the entire side. So on paper, I think they. It's just that the people have to perform to the potential because they do have the squad. That's
yeah.
that's they also have Omar Zai. So I mean, these people can, if they perform to their potential, then Punjab is in with a chance.
Yeah. Archan, the Lucknow Super Giants, your man Rishabh Pant is going to be the captain, and your favorite left arm seamer Zahir Khan is the mentor. And you got some good names there in the support team. You have Lance Krusner and of course John T. Rhodes. Lucknow Super Giants. Are you hopeful for the Lucknow Super Giants to make some noise with Rishabh Pant at the helm as the captain?
Doctor, the Lucknow, the city of Lucknow, it's also called the city of culture, which is Tehzeeb, right? There's a famous saying, pehle aap, meaning, you go first and you go first. And they did very well last year, allowing most of the teams to go into playoffs. They played them. But what they didn't do this year in 2025 was they didn't do pehle aap in getting their captain in Rishabh Pant, like you said, right? We all know with Rishabh Pant, LSG will not need any motivational speaker because you give him a mic and off you go. It consists of a very strong core in my mind, with the top 5 in Rishabh Pant, Nicholas Puran, David Miller, Mitchell Marsh, and Aiden Markram. I mean, this is like a super destructive batting core. It also couples with one of the fastest strong pace attack when they are fit, if they are fit, in Mayank Yadav, who I'm super excited about, and Mohsin Khan. Avesh Khan has always been a good IPL player, and so has Akashdeep. But what I'm interested this time around is the inclusion of Shamar Joseph. And Shamar Joseph had a meteoric rise from in the world of cricket in past 1.5 years. We remember all the Gaba miracle, where he came in and basically win the game for West Indies against Australia. So super excited about him. And the SRK, Shah Rukh Khan of the LSG, which is Nicholas Puran, man of all season, LSG's bona fide T20 star and a game changer. I think the places where they need kind of areas where it's not very I'd say more or less their weakness is in a little bit in the spin department. Yes, they have Ravi Bishnoi, but that's about it. There are support options with Shabazz and others. The most critical thing for this team is their injury concerns, right? The likes of Mayank Yadav, Mitchell Marsh, who is going to come in but not going to be able to bowl, and from what we have seen in the past during the Gautam Gambhir era, where this were more spin-friendly tracks, and the team which has better spinners, they tend to survive, like the likes of CSK and KKR and others. So yeah, that's they have what it takes in the top 5, but their bowling is kind of a concern.
Mitchell Marsh is going to play as a pure batter, by the way. He's not going to
Yeah,
bowl
that's
because
right.
because of that hamstring injury. But before I go to Rohan, a general question to kind of all of you, whoever wants to chime in. Rishabh Pant left Delhi Capitals, goes to Lucknow. There are Rishabh Pant fans who also supported the Delhi Capitals back then, but now I'm just thinking about the loyalty. Which team do you follow? Somebody asked me, "You follow IPL?" I say, "I follow IPL." Which team do you follow? I said, "I sometimes follow certain players who I like, and sometimes there are certain teams that I like." So, in terms of loyalty towards teams or loyalty towards players, will you guys do you guys think there is going to be a shift of some of the Delhi Capital hardcore fans now becoming Rishabh Pant fans and follow LSG? Anybody, and then we can go
It's
to Rohan.
I mean,
I think most
yeah,
of the fan base in most of the fan base in IPL is player based. Like you
right.
see, CSK is such a brand because of Dhoni, and similarly Pant, as you rightly said, Pant is a huge star, and many fans, including me, follow Pant. Whichever team he goes to LSG, I follow LSG. So because IPL is star based, and if you recollect in 2008 when we had the first edition, we had these star players like Sachin, Saurav, Dravid, etc., Shane Warne, etc. So IPL is I, IPL because of the players,
Good
and
point.
therefore I don't think there is a team loyalty among the fans. There is more of a player loyalty, and that's how I see it.
Anybody else?
Well, speaking for myself, I would say that I would watch LSG matches for watching Pant bat. I am a huge fan of Rishabh Pant, and that would be the main reason for me to watch their matches.
Yeah,
So, as Sharvil rightly said, I also agree that IPL basically is because of the players, and the fan base is also because of the players, except unless it's GT. Wherever Hardik goes, I will always support Gujarat Titans.
Rohan.
There is one other thing that I'd like to mention is it is true in case of CSK, it is true in case of RCB with Virat Kohli, but what is not true is the case in Mumbai Indians, where no matter who are the players, who comes in, who goes out, Mumbai Indian fans are Mumbai Indian fans and not necessarily
That's true.
player fans.
Yeah, Rohan and then Mohanish.
Yes, so the LSG team, when we read the names, they've got the best batters of the T20 format. But considering the venue where they play, all the players who are genuine batters of playing genuine pace bowling. But what they lack, in my opinion, would be that they are not great slow ball or spin playing batters. And to add to some problem with their spin bowling attack, they have only Ravi Bishnoi. So they are playing at their home ground. It's a big ground compared to other stadiums. And they all the batters who are relatively weak players of slow bowling compared to what they would have been of pace bowling. So had this been a batting lineup of a Mumbai Indians or a RCB, then this team would have been a title contender, guaranteed to play the final. But considering that they have the slow, sluggish wickets at Lucknow, coupled with big boundary dimensions, and they lack genuine spinners. They only one genuine spinner, world-class spinner, Ravi Bishnoi. This is something which might halt Lucknow to make it to the final two, but they might still make it to the final four, considering that they play their games at the venues like Bangalore, Mumbai, KKR. So these grounds will facilitate some runs, and on those venues they will be even more dangerous than what they are at their home.
Who will keep the wickets for LSG?
Rishabh
it will be
Rishabh
Pant.
Pant.
It will
Pant.
be Pant.
You don't
Pant.
want Pant in the
No,
outfield.
I have one other concern. I have one other concern with LSG. I think, yes, they have very strong batting lineup in terms of at least on paper, very strong batting lineup in the foreign lineup among the foreign players. But they don't have a very strong, besides Rishabh Pant, they don't have a very strong Indian batting contingent. If you look at, there is just Abdul Samad, who is touted to be a big player, famously retained by Sunrisers Hyderabad, the only player retained by Sunrisers Hyderabad. Of course, he hasn't really made waves. and there is Ayush Badoni, who one expects, of course. He was retained, in fact. So, but besides that, I don't see a very strong Indian batting contingent. That's one, and that always, you always look for a very strong Indian batting lineup so that you can actually use the foreign players smartly, both on the bowling as well as the batting side. So that's just my concern.
No. Totally agree, Professor. They went the other route in terms of the core with the on the bowling side, where they got the likes of Avesh Khan and Mohsin Khan and Mayank Yadav and Ravi Bishnoi. So instead of batting core, it looks like that they are focusing more on the bowling core side of things.
Bowling core, Indian bowling core.